Hello, everyone, and welcome back to And Rolling. Click. Woo.
Oh, you know what we should do for like our little intro?
Oh, what?
It should be like a 3, 2, 1, and
Oh,
rolling.
that would be good. Yes. Okay. Yeah. We should in the
Yeah.
future next
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Yes. You might have found us from a short of some sort, not TikTok, unless something crazy happened. We're recording this before the ban. But we're trying to do some sort of janky video recording. So forgive us if
Emphasis on the janky.
Yeah, I want you guys to know right now.
See, the thing is, everybody.
This is our second time trying to record. We recorded for about 10 minutes last time, and I realized that we were only getting one mic. Really fucked it up. Yeah. Anyway,
we're not in a good setup.
No.
Like stay tuned for movie content. It will be coming in a moment, but our setup is not great because we're like in between apartments right now.
It's
so
rough.
We're staying in an attic.
Yeah.
In a family member's house, waiting to find our own place now that we've moved out of where we were.
Yeah.
So it's just sort of like an interim period. This is not permanent. Our setup is not going to be like this forever.
Yeah, I think that I already mentioned this before we even started filming. I said we're going to have a better studio at the apartment because
we'll have,
I need like real
dedicated space.
Yeah, I need like real stuff. I might get another boom mic and get rid of that one because that one's jank. That one's messed up. So it's rough,
we have
guys.
plans. We have plans and
yes, we do
schemes.
So yeah, now let us know how you like the videos. If you saw a video,
hey, sometimes you need to fall to know where you are.
Wow, was that from this movie?
Yeah.
Oh,
that was the Bat Lady song.
Wow. Okay. You know what? I think that's a great pretext for how I feel about this movie. So why don't you give us a summary?
All right. So Moana 2.
And then we'll go from there.
And disclaimer, we did walk in pretty late to this movie.
10 minutes.
Yeah, so we missed the first 10 minutes. We meant to go back and watch it, but we didn't do that, and you really didn't need to. If you've seen Moana 1...
You've seen Moana 2.
And you've seen the trailer for Moana 2, you can pretty much pick up what's going on. So she's got a little sister, and her little sister's a toddler. And at some point, there's like a shooting star overhead, and she's like, the ancestors want us to follow it. We'll find a way of uniting the people of the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
And so she recruits a team. It's an old man who's a farmer, a very strong artist named
storyteller
something
dude.
I don't remember his name, but he's obsessed with Maui.
Yep.
And then an architect.
She's an engineer.
Excuse me. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
An engineer, and so she builds the boat that they sail on, and she's always trying to perfect it. And so they set off, and everything's going okay until they meet these coconut dudes who have a poison blob.
Yeah, that's how they make their poison.
Just like
the
a
little
blob.
darts. You know the coconut guys from the last movie. Same thing.
Are they in the last movie?
Yeah, dude. There's like the whole fight scene, and
I'm just not remembering
Maui,
that.
And it's right after she picks up Maui.
I fully believe you.
Dude. Yeah.
I fully believe you, but apparently I don't remember that at all.
Guess the first one wasn't very memorable either.
No, I remember most of the first one. I didn't remember
Forget
them.
that. Okay.
Anyway, they show up, and then there's this giant, like, epic level proportion clam.
Yes, it's a big clam
with like spiky teeth and whole thing.
It's hot.
Oh.
That was a joke, guys.
Baby girl?
No. Jacob.
And so they end up like going in the spiky clam. They get swallowed, and they meet Maui, who's been held captive there by a bat woman. She's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
The most interesting thing about this movie, I would say.
Yeah.
And so they rescue Maui. She shows them how to, like, she foreshadows the resolution for the movie and helps them get to this basically Dead Sea full
Yeah.
of sea monsters and like a sunken island. And there's an angry god who sunk this island and put a curse on it that none of the humans of the Pacific will ever be able to like reunite unless a human touches this island.
Yep.
So they're trying to raise the island. They realize that the monsters really only want the humans, and Maui, being a god or demigod, can probably pull the island up. So they try that. It doesn't work. There's a
Yep.
huge like storm that's going on. Moana decides that she can dive down and touch the island, and she tries, and she barely brushes it before she's struck by lightning
Mm-hmm.
and killed, really. The
Yeah.
curse is lifted the moment she touches that island, and so
Mhm.
the water that's been like dead and lifeless is now back to being her friend. That's
Yeah.
the ocean. And so it makes this air pocket. Maui dives down and is like holding her, and then all of her ancestors, including her grandma, come out and they kind of like breathe life back into her, and they give her a half sleeve of tattoos that look like Maui's. So it's I'm assuming she's now also a demigod of some sort. Her paddles also made magical.
Yep. Yep.
And they raise the island, and they're all celebrating, and suddenly a bunch of boats come from all different corners of the Pacific Ocean.
Like very suddenly. Like
Very
they were
like,
on it.
like immediately. Like,
Like, it's
that
like,
curse is
"Hey."
lifted, and they've been waiting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then she goes home, and she brings all of the newly discovered
New
lost
stuff.
cousins to Motunui, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the movie.
That's the movie.
Oh, actually, there is an end like halfway through the end credit
Oh
scene.
yeah.
And it's the bat lady she was cursed to be in that clam. She wasn't like hanging out there of
Yeah.
her own free will.
Yeah.
And so she's in front of the angry lightning god, and he's like, "You helped her," and she's like,
Yeah.
"I didn't do anything." Blah blah blah.
And then the
it's
crab
clear-
guy shows up.
Yeah, the crab guy shows up
Mm-hmm.
from the first movie, and he's not shiny at all.
No.
And that's how they end it. So clearly, we're getting a Moana 3.
Yeah.
Which
And I think is good.
actually think Moana 3 could be interesting because that
Yes.
bat lady was interesting.
Yes.
This felt like filler, like a backstory filler thing that we needed to get to know the bat lady. And to that I say, could it have been a 15-minute short? Maybe.
Well, right. And I think that we're going to get into all that.
Yeah, well, let's get
But-
into it.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess this is the thing. Like, usually we discuss themes at some point.
Yeah, we'll go ahead. Discuss the theme.
I don't think there is a theme.
I think it's reunification.
Okay, but like my whole thing is it's like that's not like usually when we're like talking about themes and stuff, it's like touching on like a deeper point or something like that, or like a moral message, and there's just nothing that just doesn't exist in this movie.
There were so many things that, like, narratively to me did not make sense.
Right.
Just that were, like, leading up to a theme.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Moana's little sister. Make her daughter. I get that they would never do that because
Yeah.
Moana's a teenager and she's not whole
Yeah,
thing.
they have to make her cool and
But
stuff. Yeah.
I am like the affection that she has for this little sister and like the way that they're presenting this relationship, it felt very mother-daughter.
But you know what? You know how you're like, oh, like they wouldn't do that in Moana, like they would never. What about Little Mermaid 2? I'm just saying.
Yeah, but she's married.
Oh,
And they've aged her up quite a bit.
okay.
Little Mermaid blah, 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 blah. Don't get me started on Little Mermaid 2. I was obsessed.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Right. I agree.
All I'm saying is like the sister aspect. What would have been interesting is like them grappling with the addition of a family member
Yeah.
so close after the loss of the grandma, and like,
Mhm.
oh, she'll never meet our grandma and she'll never know. And maybe some of that happened in that first 10 minutes that we didn't see.
I really doubt it.
But it was just sort of like,
Mhm.
okay, this is her motivation for getting home, is just to be around for her little sister.
Right.
I obviously am much closer in age with my sisters, so movies about sisterhood really resonate with me.
Yeah.
And I know some people who do have like a 10-year gap with their sisters, and they
Mhm.
will say like, oh yeah, I felt like I did a lot of caretaking and, so sure that's
Right.
probably part of it, but just I didn't necessarily see the point of that relationship,
Yeah.
narratively speaking.
Yep.
And then like the idea, I think, I think that they should have made the water go dead much earlier and have it be Moana grappling with like last time I had the whole ocean on my side. I
Mm-hmm.
was like cherry picked by the
Mm-hmm.
ocean, but now I'm without it and make you know what I mean? Like
I
that would have
yeah.
been a very interesting theme to carry that through the whole time.
You know about the production history of this movie, right?
No.
Really? I thought you did.
No.
This was supposed to be. Tell me if this will make if everything makes sense after I say this. This was originally a TV show.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Uh,
Right.
oh.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. You see all that? Yeah.
I do.
Right.
It felt episodic. It
Right.
did. It was like, okay, so the whole that makes so much sense cuz like the first like half of the
Yeah.
first third of the season would have been getting ready to go and then like at least 2 episodes on the clam
Right.
before you got into it and then another 2 in the clam.
Yeah. I can easily see how you can split this up into 8 episodes.
Yeah.
Like
so
clearly,
easy.
well, and my thing is so much of
That
the movie is taken up by what I would argue would have been the last 2 episodes, which is where they're in the Dead Sea fighting the like eels, and then the final one where they're trying to lift up the island. And like that takes up what 30 45 minutes of the movie, and then the thing is the rest of the movie is like 6 episodes of TV.
that honestly makes so much sense because all of those challenges
Yes.
were tied up in such a neat little bow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, the overarching like quest at the end of the movie of
Yep.
pulling the island kind of is throughout, but it doesn't really like overlap much
Right.
with these challenges.
Right.
That honestly makes so much more sense.
Well, and I think that it's a detriment to like the characters because this is my thing. The character, there's one additional character who matters in this movie, and it's the engineer girl. The other two don't do anything. Sorry. Like they really don't. And like especially the old man. The old man doesn't do a damn thing.
I actually thought the old man added a lot of character, like a variety to the character. Like he's the
Sure.
curmudgeon,
Right.
whereas the other two are actually pretty gung ho.
Mm-hmm. Oh, who do you think? Okay, who do you think animated this movie?
What do you mean?
Who animated this film? Like who
Like
were
a
the
specific person?
who was the studio that animated this film?
Was it not Disney?
No,
It was Pixar?
no, it was outsourced to the studio who was making the TV show up in Canada. Isn't that crazy?
Oh.
Right. It's the only Disney feature animated film that's not like made by Walt Disney Animation Studios
Or Pixar.
or Pixar. Right, but I'm saying like a Disney
Yeah.
animated.
affiliate.
Yeah.
That's bizarre. This
Right.
honestly is getting less and less clear to me.
In terms of what?
Just why it happened.
So, from my understanding, when Bob Iger looked at Disney Plus and was like, "There's too much shit on this platform. There's too much shovelware on the platform. It's like it's like the Wii back in the day. You know, it's just like content for content's sake, and it's pretty bad." And he was like, "I think we can make more money if this was in theaters because people will pay to go see the movie, but people probably aren't going to be paying extra to go like for the streaming service. That's just not going to happen." And so they were like, "We can make more money if we release it," and they did. They made over $1 billion on this movie.
I also think they came out at the perfect time because there's nothing competing with it. Like,
Agree.
sorry, no one's gonna see Sonic 3.
Well, Sonic 3 did well.
Yeah, like 5 people went over and over and over again.
It's made like $500 million.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like,
No, I know. Yeah, it like yes.
Cultural impact, the Sonic movies versus all of Walt Disney.
Yeah, that's fair.
Walt Disney's going to
Yeah.
win out every single time.
I agree with you. Right.
So the thing about this movie, and as we know, as culturally established, Lin-Manuel Miranda did not do the music.
No, we did not.
None, like, I'm leaving the theater, I can't hum a single lick of that music.
You know what part I can hum is the part where she goes, "I am Moana" at the very end, because that was in the original one.
Right. There was some carryover.
That's all that I can remember from this movie.
Yeah, I remember in the theater at in the moment, I was like, this music isn't as bad as I was led to believe.
I
Like,
agree
the
with
internet
you.
really hyped up that it was like terrible,
Yeah.
and I don't think it was bad, but it certainly is not memorable.
Yes.
I've not listened to it since, but like I couldn't even get out even something close to any of those songs.
Right. Hear me out.
Except for the chee-hoo, that one.
Which one?
The one that Maui sings about, can I get a chee-hoo?
I don't even.
But that's
Couldn't tell
probably
you.
because a lot of my TikTok right when this movie came out was like
Chihu.
chee-hoo.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. I mean, in my personal opinion, I think that this is the worst theatrically released Disney animated movie, or like, Disney Studios film produced ever.
You are forgetting
I'm not forgetting the Black Cauldron.
Wish.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
this
fair.
is still miles better than that piece of shit.
Wish was really bad. I can't
If
believe
you worked on Wish, I'm so sorry.
if you worked on Wish, and like you just really want to like talk to us in the comment
Yeah,
section.
we would love to
like,
talk to
I'll be
you.
your personal therapist, dude.
Yeah.
Like that is
Yeah.
rough. Like,
yeah, like I'm so sorry.
It is bad. The original Wish concept, absolutely incredible.
I would have loved to see that.
Yes, and
Instead,
for those who don't know about the original Wish concept, Maddie, do you want to get into it?
okay. What's that? The threads and the board.
Yeah. Pepe Sylvia.
Yeah. Okay. So Wish came out to celebrate the 100th year of Walt Disney Studios, and it was just a crock pot full of shit. It's this girl. It's this girl, and she's living on an island for free, and she doesn't even pay rent.
They don't even charge you rent.
And a star. She makes a wish on a star.
The star comes down.
The star comes down and
Bad
is like
things
an
happen. Blah blah blah.
anthropomorphic star.
Yeah.
But it's always a star.
Yes.
And initially, it was supposed to turn into this like impish little boy, like not little boy, but like an age-appropriate boy.
Yes.
For her, and they were like, she really came to care for the star. I don't know if it was going to necessarily be a romance. It looked like it had the potential.
I think it would have been like one of those like maybe
a Casper situation.
Yes, exactly.
A remember me this way.
Yeah.
We have one night together of like slow dancing.
Right.
That's it.
Well, because like, and they showed like, look up the animation concepts for the original Wish, and you're like, oh my god,
it looks so charming, and
yes.
like, there's so much chemistry between those two characters on paper. Instead, it was just chock full of
just a fucking star.
Well, the star, which was like fine, whatever.
But even
but it wasn't even an interesting character.
Right.
But the movie fell super flat because it was just how many Walt Disney references can we chalk into this movie?
Yeah.
And it wasn't done artfully. It wasn't clever. It was so poorly thought out. And then they had two pop music producers or like artists, like writers, come in and try and write a musical, which
throw caution
sucked.
to the warning sign.
Just explain what that means. Throw caution to every warning sign. You can throw caution to the wind because you're like, I'm done with you. You're going to blow away. I'm not going to be cautious. Throwing caution to a warning sign is like holding up a mirror to a stop sign.
No, it is. It is. That's what it is.
And then, and what makes me even angrier is that you had Chris Pine,
who does a good job.
Who like his Disney movie should be killer.
Yeah.
It should have been like quintessential. Whatever he's doing should have been amazing, and you squandered Chris Pine.
Hear me out. I know we've been talking about Wish.
Yeah.
But is this worse than Strange World? Is Moana 2 worse than Strange World?
No. I hated Strange World.
Strange World was rough.
No, because I didn't dislike sitting through Moana
But
2.
hear me out. At least I remember it.
I mean, I remember Strange World. I don't remember the soundtrack.
Well, yeah, okay, but there was no music. It wasn't a musical. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just kind of like, I remember the concept. Moana 2, I'm just like, who cares? Is anyone going to remember this movie in 4 years?
I feel like Moana 2 is to Moana as Pirates of the Caribbean 2 is to Pirates of the Caribbean. It is the vehicle for which you get the masterpiece of the third movie.
No. But Pirates of the Caribbean 2 was good.
I didn't care for Pirates of the Caribbean 2.
That's wrong. But
we're really getting into a bunch of other.
I know, but this is. I mean, I'm glad that we are, because I was honestly like, I don't know what the fuck I have to say about this movie, because I feel like there's nothing interesting about this movie. It doesn't teach any sort of moral lesson. It doesn't do anything fun. It's just visuals, and I'm just like, there's nothing that I can even grasp at for this thing.
This movie, if it had been turned into a 15 to 20 minute short,
yes,
this would have been like a great short film.
Yeah.
Because it has just barely enough of a point.
Yeah. Right. I agree.
But watching Strange World made me angry. This movie,
yeah,
I was just sort of like, they definitely did not hit the mark.
That's fair. I mean, I feel like Disney has been in a slump from the animation studio's perspective.
Well, I need them to like just do interesting things.
Yeah. I mean, well, this is my thing, is I'm like, this movie, when I can sit here and definitively say that, like, the majority of the directed Disney DVD movies are better than this piece of shit, oh, man, that's rough. Like, that's pretty bad. Like, you can't tell me that this movie is worse than Lion King 2. You can't.
But I loved The Lion King 2.
Right, but that's what I'm saying.
He lives in you.
He lives in you. But that's what I'm saying. I'm just like, this movie is not that great. And it just kind of happens. And I think the thing that really irritates me, this is what really irritates me, is this is the general theme. This is the theme of the movie. You can get a well-timed release for a children's movie these days, and it will stay in theaters forever. Because it's not like this movie has been in theaters for a long time. We are not new to the game. We are going to be one of the last things that even talks about this in terms of its relevant theater
release.
Out
Thanksgiving?
I think you're right. It came out after or during Thanksgiving. Yes.
Yeah. The best, like, honestly, it's tough too, right? Because the last children's movie we saw before this was Bad Robot.
No, you mean Wild Robot.
What? Yes.
Yeah,
sorry, not Bad Robot.
Yeah. Which, oh my God.
And that
incredible.
They're doing interesting things with the animation style.
Yes.
With the sound.
Yes.
Like, that was great. And also, obviously this wasn't like the most recent, but another children's movie that we saw that we really liked was Migration.
Yeah, like, Migration was good.
Not as good as Wild Robot by any means, but
no.
like, certainly for a children's movie,
right?
That was great. Like, Bad Robot. Sorry, why do I keep saying that?
I don't
Wild
know.
Robot was caliber of the Iron Giant. That was like, and the Prince of Egypt and like Anastasia. Like, that's
the
the
DreamWorks
level
classics. Even though I don't think Iron Giant was DreamWorks, but yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But like, that's the level.
Yeah.
That Wild Robot came to play on.
Right. And it's like, oh, this is great. And like, Migration, this is my thing, is Migration, like, taught kid, like, my thing is, it's like, I'm not looking for super deep themes in children's movies. Maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. But like, my whole thing with like Migration was that it was like, oh, like, you're gonna learn to like fight for your family and like be there for them, and like that they really care about you even when they're being maybe a little overwhelming or whatever, you know. And it's like, awesome, cool, what a great concept for children.
Was on the level of RV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a fair assessment, right? Yeah. Even though RV probably better, but you know, that's a movie that we need to go back and
Big rolling turd coming through.
coming through. Man, what a classic there. But
Young Josh Hutcherson.
yeah, and
Hutcherson?
JoJo,
Yeah.
yeah, she's in that movie,
Love her.
and you know, yeah.
Did you know the mom in that movie is who's married to RFK?
What?
Yes.
Ooh.
I know. Does put that in a new light.
Whoa. Okay. You know what?
Big rolling
That
turd.
really that blew my mind right there. I had no idea that that's who that lady was.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad that film came out in the past because I don't know if I could
that's
watch
like
it now.
20 years old. at
Yeah,
this
I
point.
know. Yeah. Okay, interesting. Well, anyways.
Back to Moana too.
Right. I mean, there's just nothing like there's not really like I think that the whole thing was supposed to be maybe about leadership, but you know what movie does that better? The entire How to Train Your Dragon series. About what it means to be a leader and take up responsibility.
And Lion King.
Yeah, and Lion King. I mean, I'm just like I can give you 100 films that I would rather a child watch than this. But somehow it made $1 billion because parents are like, I don't give a shit, I guess. It didn't even review well.
It was one where I'm like, man, I hope my kids don't get into this.
Yes.
Like, ooh.
No, I know. And I'm just like, oh, dude, I don't know if I can do this. My ex-GM, he's like, his kid was really into Moana. And I'm like, I know they saw this. There's no
Yeah.
way they didn't.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
And like Moana, the first one, I found that to be very fun and very good, and like,
and this is my thing. Moana is like the whole concept of Moana 1 is like overcoming challenge, and how do you do that? And like determination, you know, like those are great themes, especially for a child, where it's like they're gonna be encountering a lot of stuff that they're scared of, even if it's like a slide at a park or something.
so
I mean,
hear me out.
mm-hmm.
I felt like they overused the dead grandma. It was a cop out that
Yeah.
I was really frustrated to see.
Yeah, they totally overused the dead grandma.
Because when the dead grandma shows up in Moana 1, that's like one of the most poignant, like that's up there.
Right, because she's like giving up all hope.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Right.
yeah, and instead it's just like, oh, she just shows up all the time.
Yeah,
So
she's
doesn't-
just
doesn't
there.
mean anything.
Right, she's like on the beach with Moana, like vibing and dancing, and I'm like, great. You know what? You know what's a better use of your hour and a half, or like hour in general, than this, is to watch the Lost Cities with Albert Lynn's Polynesian episode.
Yeah, that's a great episode.
Right.
I mean, name an episode he's done that isn't great.
Fire. Yeah, that's spitting facts right there. But I mean, but literally, like that teaches you more about the Polynesian culture that I think they're trying to portray here than this movie, because like that's all about how like this empire and civilization existed by trading and going through all of these islands and you know, creating an advanced civilization through that. And this movie, I think that's what it's trying to teach, but it doesn't really. It's honestly, there's no direction here.
I mean, it would have been so interesting to, you know, like, because the twist, right? The twist is that the Bat Lady isn't actually evil,
Right.
which happens halfway through.
Right.
So early on, there's no struggle there. She just sings a song about, like, getting
Moving on.
lost to find your way. And Moana's like, huh, maybe you're onto something. And it's like, okay. And then she, like, opens a
Right.
portal. And then they're all like, you're not evil after all. And she, like, flirts with Maui
It's
a bit.
because it's supposed to be an
But-
hour-long episode.
But hear me out. I
Mhm.
think it would have been so much interesting to condense that first bit and then have the struggle and the twist be that the people of maybe, like, you know, the Polynesian islands,
Mm-hmm.
there's disagreements. There's, you know, like, they've been isolated for a long time. What is that reunification process like?
Yeah.
That can't be easy.
Right. Exactly. No.
And that would have been more about like leadership. Like you have a little bit of it in the beginning of how do I lead the boat?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's a bigger how do I lead divided people?
Right, but then the problem now we're getting into Moana 3. You know what I mean? Like, there's only I think that the problem is that would have even chopped it up even more. What should have happened is they should have just scrapped the whole damn idea and just started over. You know what I mean? Like, I, I think that from the beginning there's production issues with this, and I think it shows in the movie. I think the animation, there's more slapstick in this than I think I've ever seen in any Disney movie, which was funny. Like, I like slapstick, but I'm just like, damn, there's a lot of it.
That is pretty par for the course for a Disney TV show.
Right. You know what's strange? This is going to sound like a strange comparison, but I think you'll understand if you really think about it. Moana 2 was the Family Guy of Disney movies in the sense of there's like random cutaways to jokes that are briefly mentioned constantly throughout the film.
Thing, I would have had to have watched Family Guy, and I've never watched that.
Fair enough. But
I can respect what you're saying, for
right.
sure.
Because it's just like, oh, like, there's commentary, blah, 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 this is our problem. Oh, have we thought about using the poison? And then, like, the worm farts on you or something. And it's like, haha, that is funny.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm just saying that I think that Disney's a little bit more highbrow than that, despite the like, character trope stuff.
The thing, too, is I do want I would like the animation style to continue to evolve.
Yeah.
We got a really, like, I feel like Tangled was new, right? That was different. And then Frozen, there was something
kept that
about
going, sort of.
Frozen that felt different. There was so much more texture than Tangled.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know about you, but yeah, when I watch Frozen, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember when this came out, and it was such a big thing because, like, the glass felt like glass, and the fabric, you could see it looked like fabric.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, I think there's been some changes with hair for Disney animated characters.
Yeah.
But the style has stayed the same.
Right.
The animation is not breathtaking.
Wish did a slight alteration in terms of texturing and stuff, I think.
Yeah.
But Wild Robot did that and did it way better.
Wild Robot was a beautiful movie.
Right. Right. And I'm just like, oh, this is interesting because it's like, I think that the problem is 3D animation now is like 3D animation. And there's nothing interesting happening in 3D animation. Like you're saying. It's just, what's going on?
It's like, at that point, what are we here for?
Right. I know.
Yeah. I like, bring back beautiful movies.
Literally. Right. And my thing is, it's like, I don't even think you need to change the animation style, quote unquote, too much, but like, change colors, get interesting, with character designs. Like, do something.
Even the way in which, like, the story is told.
Or get interesting with, like, animation styles from the perspective of movement, like true animation. Like, make them more loosey-goosey. Make them, why can't I think of it? Like rubber, what is it? Rubber ducky or whatever, with the spaghetti arms that they would have in, like, old Disney movies. Like, do that.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, what would an old Disney movie look like if we had the computer processing of today? Like,
right.
Intentionally make the choice. Like, you know how in old Disney movies occasionally you see, like, pencil lines?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be interesting? Like,
right.
I don't need it to look... I don't need it to be the most realistic thing for me to enjoy the movie. Like, I appreciate looking at someone's art.
Right, exactly. Well, and I mean... I think that's the thing, is it's like CGI has gotten to a level where even... I mean... It takes a lot for a movie, for me, where I'm like, wow, that's bad CGI anymore. You know what I mean?
Gladiator 2 Sharks.
Very fair. I mean, it can be bad. But, like, generally, I mean, a lot of Gladiator 2 was still CGI, and it looked good,
Yeah.
And I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, CGI has gotten to a point where I'm like, I don't need my animated movies to look realistic. Get kooky crazy with it. Like, I don't, as long as the story's good, clearly, the stories, well, except in this case, stories aren't the problem.
And that's where I think you might like Klaus. just because there is a real strong art style
Yeah.
to that movie.
We need to watch Klaus.
Yeah.
Yeah, a Spanish Christmas classic, even though it's made in America. No?
Mm-mm.
Well, no, but it's made by a Spanish guy, even though it takes place in Sweden.
Yeah, but I don't think it was Spanish guys on the whole that made it.
Well, no, he wrote it. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Spanish guy was like on top of it and did all of his
We're gonna fact check.
all of that stuff. Fact check me.
Doesn't happen much in this show.
I'm always right in this show. You need to remember that
Ooh.
right now. So, hot take. No, I mean I think that I think overall this movie was disappointing, but not from a. I think my thing is this movie was disappointing not from a, oh, like I thought this movie would be great, but in a disappointing from I'm just like, wow, this is really the best they got. Like this is the best that they could have done for Moana 2. Like one of the top grossing animated films of all time is this.
Oh, you are right.
Yeah, I told you he was Spanish.
I stand corrected.
Yeah.
I stand corrected.
There you go. So, but I mean, the fact that this has to sit there in the $1 billion club for all of time is one of the first movies to ever hit $1 billion. Oof.
Well, when movie tickets are $25 per person.
No, I agree with you. I mean, I think that plays a huge role. But
Going back to Klaus, though, I will just say the director worked on Disney Renaissance films, including Hunchback of Notre Dame, Hercules, and Tarzan. And then he brought on James Baxter, who did Beauty and the Beast.
Oh.
Which, to me, explains a lot about that movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, no, I mean, I think that, I don't know. I mean, what's your opinion on the state of... I think you've articulated your opinion on the state of animated movies and stuff.
I want people to take some risks.
Yeah, I agree.
Which is true for most of the film industry. Like, that's not exclusive to animation. And I think we talked about this in our Gladiator 2 episode of I don't want 20-year-plus sequels. Like, the first time that happened, it was like, oh my gosh, that's cool. But now everybody's doing it. And it's like, I don't need Ghostbusters 45.
No.
I don't need it. And actively, I don't want it. I
really would like it if there were no more Ghostbusters movies flat out. They are just not good. No. I don't care what anyone says. I've seen movies from the 80s. There are way better movies from the 80s than that.
And this is why we're in agreement.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just like, in general, take risks. Like, they're not all going to be masterpieces, but they're going to be interesting. There was that one movie, hold on.
We're holding. Hold on to your chair, folks. This is going to get crazy. We'll cut this in post. You're going to be like, wow, that was really quick. I didn't have to hold on to my chair long at all. That was Speedy Gonzalez. Boom, boom.
I have it.
What's the movie?
Polite Society. It came out recently.
Oh.
And it was like...
I didn't see it.
And I saw it by myself. And that movie... It wasn't perfect, but it was interesting. Yeah. And it was different, and there were risks taken, and I just appreciated that so much. Yeah. And I would love to see Hollywood doing interesting projects and like letting interesting people be at the forefront of making movies. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that I think you're right. I mean, I just don't know. Yeah, and this movie just isn't interesting, and it was clearly a corporate decision.
It felt very corporate all the way through, with the exception of the Bat Lady. Like, she was the only thing that pulled my focus.
Yeah, I mean she's the most memorable part, and
at that point,
I don't know.
Just make a movie about her.
Yeah. Right. No, I mean, this movie just kind of happens.
Imagine that. Imagine they didn't announce that this was like in the Moana universe, right? Mm-hmm. And it's just like new character, blah blah blah. And at the very last like 5 minutes, something happens there, and Moana just comes in.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
That would have been so interesting.
Mm-hmm. amazed that they got the original cast back for this film.
I'm sure they were all contracted for at least a sequel.
Man, I don't know. Some of these Disney animation movies, they don't
No,
plan
but,
for a
like,
sequel.
But like it would have been in their contract that if they were going to do a sequel, they would have had to come back.
But wouldn't you have thought that they would have done that for the music too, though? Then?
But they put that might have been them being like, we want Lin-Manuel on this project. Because
yeah, because he did Mufasa.
come out.
My brother.
And isn't he doing a Phantom of the Opera thing for them too?
They're remaking Phantom
Well,
again?
They didn't make Phantom the first time.
No, I know, but they're making Phantom.
They're thinking about it, I think.
Fuck.
But Rachel Ziegler might be the
Christine?
yeah,
Okay.
which would be interesting.
I think they're going to see how Snow White performs, though.
Right.
I don't think Snow White's going to perform well at all. Maybe it will. I don't know. But I'm just like,
I don't know.
that will not be a film that we will be reviewed on and rolling. Just,
Really?
I don't want to see it.
Oh,
Unless there's literally nothing out, I really don't want to see that movie.
okay.
I don't want to support their bullshit projects.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they should be continuing the live action
Right.
projects. It's kind of strange to me that they're still doing that. But
Right. I mean, I'm Marveled out. I'm live action Disney movie out. I'm just like, this sucks. I don't care about the whole Captain America movie at all. I do not care.
There's a new Captain America movie?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No.
Harrison Ford is the president and he turns into the Red Hulk.
Who the fuck is the Red Hulk?
A guy in the comic books.
Is he communist?
Sure.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. Commies. God damn.
Dirty commies.
That's why we can't have TikTok anymore. It's fine. I mean, yeah. I think, but I don't think that there's any sort of deep conversation we can have about this film.
No, we spent most of this talking about other films. So,
Which
make
says
of
a
that,
lot.
Make of that what you will.
Right. I think we've listed like 20 other films that you could see instead of this to spend.
So leave
your
us
time.
a comment. What would you rather watch?
That's true. That's very true. Yeah. Go ahead and do that because I want to know, honestly.
Maybe the poll should be like for people who saw Wish
Mm-hmm.
and Moana 2.
Which is worse.
Which is worse?
That's a very fair poll, honestly.
There is a correct answer though.
Yeah, it's Wish. Wish is worse.
Wish is worse.
Yeah.
Blah, blah. I can't talk tonight.
Wish.
Wish is worse.
Yes.
Unique New York.
Yeah, I agree. But
do you
somehow the music was more memorable in Wish. Explain that.
That's called rage bait.
It is. This might be the worst Disney music you've ever heard.
They said, "Oh, we're cooking. We're cooking the worst meal you've had in your life."
I don't even charge you rent.
Yeah. They said, "What if we fit every single redundancy and or oxymoron in these lyrics?"
My thing is, do the children watching Wish even understand the concept of rent?
Probably not.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure they understand that money pays for things, but like, do they know what rent is? Like, I didn't know what the fuck a mortgage was until I was like 14. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Like, it just didn't concern me in the same way.
Maybe to them that makes him even more evil because they're like, "What do you mean we don't all live here for free? He would charge us." You mean people would go on the internet and tell lies?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's really just pissing them off. But yeah, I mean, I don't even know how long have we been talking for? We've been talking for 45 minutes about this
Frankly,
movie.
I'm shocked. I thought we'd maybe get a half hour.
I know. I was like, we might get 30 minutes out of this thing. But I think the only reason we got more was because we were talking about other movies.
Yeah, we really packed it in there.
Yeah, we did.
Well,
yeah, that's Moana 2. I don't really have anything else to say unless you do.
We have to do our scale.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, you go first.
No, you.
Well, this is my thing, is I'm like, I actively think that this might be the worst movie we've seen on this list so far because there's not really anything redeeming about it. Like,
I will say, I do feel like it's a different scale for me from like the other movies in this one, just because it's a kids movie,
Fine.
and
you
so I
do
feel
you.
like I'm judging it off of other kids movies.
Okay, you do that. I'm judging it based off of just other films, period.
So what are you giving it?
I would give it a 3.
Oh, I thought
Because-
you'd give it like a 2.
No, I think 2 has to be like there's some real fundamental issues with the film. Like there are fundamental issues with like the production side of this film, but like at least it is well put together.
See, I would give
Generally
it like
speaking.
a 3.5, maybe a 4,
Mm-hmm.
and that's because it is like there's no glaring problems with the technical stuff,
Right.
and then at least a half a point is carried just by Bat Lady.
Yeah, because this is my thing, is it's like, is the writing good? I guess.
If this were a TV show, I think I'd be rating it much higher.
I agree.
And like I'd watch the whole thing. I'd be
Mhm.
like, yeah, that nice with a little bow on top.
Right. Like, this is my thing. When I say, like, it's well put together, I don't mean, like, wow, this film is well put together in the sense of, like, the way that, I don't know, Iron Claw is well put together. Like, it makes sense. I'm saying that, like, there's no glaring writing problems besides maybe some pacing stuff, I guess. And, like, well, definitely some pacing stuff, you know? But, like, the dialogue isn't bad, you know?
I do want to bring up the point of like, in terms of what we're teaching children, getting lost to find your way. I don't know that that's the most effective messaging that like
Because
a
I
small
don't think
child
there is a
could
message
take away.
here.
Yeah, but hear me out. That is the message. They're being like, you have to like lose control to, you know, to
Yeah.
kind of figure out where you are.
If that's what they're
But,
going
like,
for,
if
that's
the-
not good.
But like, can't you just imagine a little kid in the mall being like, I can't find my mom. I'll get more lost.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that'd be really bad. No, I mean, and my thing is, there's like, are there issues with this movie? Absolutely. Is it? I just think I expect better from Disney, and I will hold them to that standard.
Oh, you're a disappointed dad.
I am, and so I will rate this lower than any other film that I've rated on this podcast.
Yeah.
It's a 3. You know.
That's fair.
I mean, 1 is basically unwatchable. You know what? The Room is a 2. That's a 2.
No. It's so enjoyable being so bad.
2 is it's so bad
no,
it's good.
Wish is 1.
Madame. No way. Really? A 1. A 1 is a practically unwatchable film. I've seen a lot of bullshit.
That was practically unwatchable.
No, I don't know about that.
I felt my
I don't
blood
know.
pressure rising in that movie. I was like a tea kettle about to go off.
Yes, but like, have you ever seen?
And throw caution to every warning sign.
Okay, yeah, sure. But have you ever seen like those films that are like recorded like? I'm sorry, like Shark Hurricane 2 filmed on like some guy's camcorder from 2002, but it was released in like 2015. That's a 1. That's a 1.
I think those are of the same caliber. And that's why I feel
What?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Wish?
No.
Trash. That's what that movie should have been called.
I don't even know how to respond to that. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I would rate The Meg higher than Wish.
Jesus Christ.
Not by much, but still higher.
Wow.
At least I could have some enjoyment. I could kind of let go and be like, oh, we're just crazy. That's all. We're crazy with these sharks. And the Mariana Trench. All right. Okay.
I guess. Yeah.
So at least I enjoyed myself.
Mm-hmm.
I hated every minute. I felt like I was on fire watching Wish.
I didn't realize you had such a passionate emotion about Wish.
I do. That thing? Nah.
Yeah. Okay. It's really funny because like at Epcot they have like the meet the new Wish princess thing, and it's like, who gives a shit? Like,
Yeah.
who cares? You know?
And I feel bad for that performer. Like, it's not her fault. She has to.
And I don't really think she has a lot to work with, honestly.
No.
Like,
No.
yeah. I think that's the worst thing about it is like the
It's
performer.
boring.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I agree. I agree. And you know what's a shame? They don't have any Atlantis characters you can meet and greet.
Don't get me started. Where is my Milo Thatch?
Damn it. Yeah. You know.
I've long held the belief that they should turn the tunnels under the lake at Epcot into Atlantis.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be real cool.
So cool.
Yeah, and it would actually make use of their underwater space. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 So
And then they wouldn't have to drain the lake.
did they drain that lake?
No, but that's been like something that I've seen some people talking about that they might do.
They're talking about draining the World Showcase?
Well, maybe it's just people speculating, like.
No way. No way. I don't know about that.
Hey, I'm not a Disney insider.
Yeah, I know. I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna do that.
Well, I hope they don't.
Yeah, that seems.
And one way to ensure that, put Atlantis underneath.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Yeah,
Just saying.
but not those,
Disney,
not the shitty submarine.
I have a
ride or
job,
anything,
but
you
you
know?
know where I am.
I'm-
Happy to come on board and
Yeah, the
offer
only
some
reason,
killer ideas.
the only reason I'd move to Florida is
Yeah.
Disney.
Yeah, and even then I'd be hoping for California.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh,
put me in land. Put me in land.
Ooh, Florida, no. Yeah. Yeah. I've seen that Orlando traffic. You can't sit here and tell me that it's somehow just this magical retirement utopia. It ain't.
That's the Villages.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, that's another bad movie. That documentary about the Villages.
That was better than this.
No.
You're telling me that the guy who gets high on cocaine and drives a golf cart and gets arrested driving through the Villages is not
He was the
better.
only interesting one.
You're telling me that the guy who like just shows up and is living in a van to find a girlfriend that he can like
sorry,
hook up to?
There were two interesting ones. Everybody else, it was just like, what's going on? And there was no cohesiveness to that story. It was like
because
we didn't tell this in a very
because they're
interesting way.
old. They're not. They don't even understand what's going on. They don't know what's happening. They live at the Villages. You're telling me that these people have dedicated brain space to actually figuring out what the fuck's happening in the world? They don't know what the hell is happening. Okay? They just blindly watch the television and get high on coke. That's all they do.
And golf.
And golf. That's it. They can figure out how to hit a ball.
No, you cannot tell me that movie was better than this. Because here's the thing. Yes, that those two subject matters were more interesting.
Yes.
But that movie was not crafted well at all.
Inherently, it's more interesting.
And it
than
was put
this.
together poorly. More poorly than this movie.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Wow. We have a lot of contention tonight.
Yeah, we do, but it's true.
We're going to need some like
I'm
couples
always
counseling after
always
this.
right. That's why we need to see Baby Girl again
What?
for a couples counseling. Remember when I opened up
Jacob.
Oh. Yeah, hopefully we don't. Honestly, what the hell is even coming out? I want something good
Ooh.
to come out.
Let me pull up
Because
my
I feel like this is
Appity app.
January's always rough, man.
I'm holding out for that March.
Yeah,
slot,
the
'cause
March.
That's where Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves was coming out.
Really? It came out in March?
I think so.
Really? I didn't know that.
Okay, coming
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah, what's coming soon?
Wolfman.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Dogman. Oh my gosh, the Goonies have their 40th anniversary. Well, we're gonna see that in theaters.
Guys.
Oh, actually, the Keke Palmer movie and SZA.
Oh, yeah, that looks okay.
One of them days. That looks
Yeah,
good.
That looks okay, yeah.
Something called Between Borders that maybe looks interesting, but I'm
God.
not sure.
Mhm.
Oh, That Love Hurts with Kei Hui Kwan.
You think that looks good?
I'm more interested in that than any of the others that I'm seeing.
Okay.
Paddington and Peru, which I'm not opposed to seeing, but I would need to see all.
I
the
know.
other
I need to see all the other
Paddingtons.
Paddingtons. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Oh, that Last Breath one. No, I'm not seeing that.
Yeah. Anyways, we're getting Sorry. We're getting out there. We're just kind of losing it. That's Moana 2, everyone. Don't waste your time, if I'm being honest.
Harry Potter is coming back into theaters.
Okay, give me a
Mickey 17.
What is that?
The one with Robert Pattinson where he keeps coming back to life and they're doing all of those experiments.
Okay.
That's in March.
Okay.
Novocaine.
What is that?
That's the one with Jack Quaid and he doesn't feel pain. So he's doing all of the...
Okay, sure.
It looked interesting to me. You asked what was coming out.
I'm just like, give me something good.
Tell me something good.
Anyways, that's Moana 2. Don't waste your time, if I'm being honest. Unless Moana 3's out and you just gotta know. You're dying. I guess stream it. Or pirate it. I don't care. You know?
They murdered my mother.
Yeah.
You said that.
I was thinking about that the other day.
They slaughtered them like animals.
Where I'm just like, dude, this man went on a deranged, like, admits
Padme's
that
like, it's
she's
fine.
like, honey, I'm so sorry. I'm like, dude.
Padme's like, but you were hurting.
I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. Padme is the trad wife.
Ooh. In that instance, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like.
No, that one so clearly written by George Lucas in a derogatory way.
I don't think George Lucas knows what a woman is. You know what I mean?
No.
And I don't mean that in the bullshit political sense. I mean, like, I truly don't think he has a concept of, like,
I don't think he's ever spoken to a woman.
Yeah, he somehow has a child. I think that, like, that child was a force baby.
Yeah, I was gonna
You know what I mean?
That's exactly what I was going to say. The scene where Anakin and her are eating on Naboo and her dress keeps slipping lower and lower, and then he force feeds. And, like,
pear.
I mean that in, like, he uses the force to feed her that fucking pear.
Yeah, I know.
Ugh.
I don't. I'm sorry.
That's like the biggest ick I think I've ever had.
Attack the Clones is the shittiest Star Wars movie. I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
The
it's
score
that bad.
is okay.
Well, actually, I take that back. Episode 9's the worst one, but like Episode 2 is just, it's right there.
It's
Ooh.
That was hard to watch.
Episode 9, I was like halfway through Episode 9, and I looked at my sister, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like,
They said, "What if we just do it all over again
in like 2 hours
with no character development, nothing new? Why new? New bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Same.
Old good.
Same good. Old good.
Yes.
Palpatine?
Good. I mean, no,
if you all were able to bear with us during this deranged, like, popcorn
you're a real
movie,
fan. Now you have to subscribe.
Oh.
Or whatever. If you...
Or whatever.
I want your opinion on this, guys. Hold on. Now we're getting real out there. This is never going to end.
Allie's going to come up here and just hit stop.
Stop. I know. This is the most Midwestern podcast that we've had so far. This is the Midwestern goodbye, guys. We've ended this podcast 7 times, but we're still not fucking done.
We haven't left the front door.
Well, I don't even remember what I was going to say. I don't even remember. Oh yeah, okay. This is so I'm uploading all of the podcasts onto YouTube.
Oh yeah, you're getting them. You're getting them good.
Yeah, I'm uploading all the podcasts onto YouTube, and I'm just titling them "The Movie." So like, Nosferatu is just Nosferatu. It's like an hour long, and it has like, as of like this recording right now, it's been up for like 2 days, and it has like 2,400 views. And I think it's my manager at work told me that he's like, I think that people just think it's the movie and they are clicking on it believing that that is the movie, and it's not, because I don't have a description for the episode.
I'm so sure that's what it is, and I bet you they get like a second in and they're like, never mind.
Yeah, but I think it's funny. I'm like, my thing is, it's like, you know what? Hear me. What do you guys? Should I say like dash blah 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 or whatever? Because like, as far as I'm concerned, YouTube is a repository. If you're listening to this podcast on YouTube, let me know. Like, that is wild.
His email is
Yeah, like that is truly crazy. Comment right now and be like, Matthew, you idiot. I'm watching on YouTube. Do it on this episode. Like,
Do it, we
because
dare you.
I dare you. Because there's no way. Like, I just don't think anyone's watching this on YouTube.
I'm going to pull it up tomorrow. Matthew, you idiot.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. The thing is, like, I don't.
Ryan's going to flock to YouTube. Just
I know
to be
he
like,
will. Yeah,
Matthew,
just to do
you
it.
Dumb idiot.
We somehow have 3 subscribers. I don't know who they are because one of them is me. The other one is Mark from work. And
Am I not a subscriber?
I didn't have us subscribe to our own channel
Oh, on YouTube.
on YouTube.
I haven't even seen our channel on YouTube.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's someone who was like, yeah, that's it. So if that's you,
Maybe
dude, you got to let me
maybe
know.
The
So
podcast is the friends we made along the way.
yeah, the way we gaslighted them into listening, thinking
And that is very true of Moana too. Maybe
this
the
is
plot
this
was
is the thing.
friends we made along the way.
That's true. Maybe hear me out. Like, in some ways, we are giving them the full movie because we have the recap, and like this is a very in-depth conversation about the film. So I think that in some ways we are
You're
giving
getting
them
more
the
than the movie.
right. Exactly. You're actually getting bonus content, and you know those Blu-ray special like bonuses and those DVD bonuses you used to get. That's this.
You don't have to tell me about it. Tell them about me and bonus content.
Maddie loves bonus content. She listens to the commentary and rates it and stuff.
Sometimes I get done with the movie and I go right back to the menu and I watch it again just to watch it with the commentary.
Which is wild.
I've petitioned Netflix several times to get the commentary up there.
Mm-hmm.
I want it.
Yeah.
Give me that stuff. But I don't just want like the director. I want the director and an actor. Like an actor should be present.
Yes.
I want some of that inside celebrity scoop.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Anyway.
So, enjoy any other animated film, and we'll see you guys next time.
We should
So-
end by saying that's a wrap.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay. Oh, yeah, and we also make sure you comment. Just say hello. I don't give a shit. Say anything. If you're watching this, just be like, I hate this. Whatever you want. I don't care.
Don't do that. I'll read it and be very sad.
Drive engagement. Let's keep it going. And I'll respond and I'll be like, thank you. It's going to be great. Just drive that engagement right now. We appreciate it. Like it. Take the poll if you're on Spotify. Share this thing. Talk about it with your friends and your family. Be like, there's these 2 losers on the internet.
Who are you calling a loser?
Me?
Your future wife?
Sure.
You're calling your future wife a loser?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I don't like it, to be quite honest.
Say that there's these 2 godlike humans on the internet.
There's one loser and a beautiful lady.
who make this podcast that never ends. and you should listen to it. Tell your mom. I'm sure she'll enjoy this. Specifically share the baby girl episode with her. And
for your dad, Nosferatu.
yeah, that's it. That's what you do.
And that's a wrap.
And that's a wrap. Boom.